Hey guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to Genesis Learning. My name is Noel and I'm one of the certified and expert trainers here at Genesis Learning. In today's session, we are going to take a look at a very famous and a very modern kind of examination called the PTE Academic. Before we get started, our channel is specifically dedicated for all those people who are looking to crack the IELTS, the PTE or the OET examinations. So if you're new here, do consider subscribing and staying updated with everything that you need to know about all these examinations. And just like the other examinations like your IELTS or your OET, this one also checks your competency in the English language. Your listening, your reading, your writing and your speaking. All right. So unlike in the IELTS wherein you get to do the speaking on a different day, here everything is done on a single day. Okay. So the first thing that happens is your introduction. There's firstly a small introduction that you have to give about yourself. That is who you are, where you're from, and why you're writing the PTE exam. Now, in speaking, you've got 5 different tasks that you have to do for the examination. The first one is read aloud. So what happens basically in read aloud is you will get some text that is given out on the computer, okay, like a sentence, for example, and then you'll have around 35 to 40 seconds where you have to read that text in your mind, okay, and then after that, there's a small recorder, it turns red, and then you will have to speak that entire paragraph. You just have to read it out. That's it. And then after you finish this task, you hit the next button. In the examination, you will get around 6 of these tasks. This is quite easy, and I feel it's a good way to warm you up for the upcoming sessions. Then we move on to the next speaking task, which is the repeat sentence. For the examination, you will get 10 of these tasks. Now, this is, I think, one step more higher than the previous one, that is a read aloud. Why? Because you're going to be there in front of a system and you are going to hear a sentence this time. Just hearing it. It's going to be a very short sentence. I don't think it will go, more than 4 or 5 seconds. That's it. And you have to listen to it. And then you have to memorize it. And after that audio is played, you will get maybe 3 or 4 seconds to just memorize it. And then the microphone turns red and you have to speak back that same thing that you heard. Memorizing, that is something that is very important here. Okay, in this one you have to not just focus on the words, but you have to focus on the different intonations and the voice modulation or that rhythm that the speaker employs. The next one is the third task in the speaking, which is the describe image. Okay, describe image. You will get 6 of these at least in your examination. What happens basically in this task is that you will see an image. That image can be anything. It can be a pie chart, it can be a bar chart, a map, photograph, anything. Okay, so you have to look at that image. You will have around 25 seconds where you have to comprehend it. You have to look through it in good detail. Then you have to analyze that image. And then after the 25 seconds, the microphone is going to turn red, and then you will have 40 seconds to describe that image completely. Quite challenging, and even when I was writing this examination, I've written the PTE, and when I wrote it, I think this was one of the most challenging tasks for me. What happens is here the computer makes sure that your speed is right, your pronunciation is right. You should avoid hesitations like no, all of that should be avoided, and the most important thing is you should be on topic. The method that we are teaching has been proven. We've done it, including me. Even I've done it, and I've got a good score in the overall examination, so I'm pretty sure I got it for this section as well. And that is what we are teaching you. So do come and get in touch with us, and we will teach you everything that you need. The fourth task in your PTE speaking is the retell lecture. You will get 3 of these in your examination, and I feel this is definitely more difficult than the previous one. In the previous one, you just look at an image and you describe it. But in this one, what happens is you will definitely see an image on the screen. But that image is not at all important. Why? Because you're going to hear a lecture. And when that lecture plays, that will play for around 60 to 90 seconds approximately. And during that time, you have to quickly take down notes on your notepad. For the exam, you will get an erasable notepad, okay? It's a nice little whiteboard with a pen, so you can write something and you can erase it with your hand. And if you feel it's not working, you can ask for another one. You'll get enough and more of markers. So in this task, you have to take down a good amount of notes. And after taking down those notes, what you have to do is you have to speak it back into the computer. Okay, now you just get a small little gap of around 10 seconds to prepare, and then after that, boom, you have to start speaking. Now you have to say the entire thing in 40 seconds. So remember, in this one, your notes are very, very critical. Please don't try to skip this. You will get 3 of them, and the more notes you take, the better your speaking ability will be. All right. Now, the 5th one in your speaking is going to be answer short question, and you will get 10 of these for your examination. This is really quite easy, and I think it's a little bit of general knowledge. So what happens here is you will hear a question. Okay, you will hear it, not see it. You will hear it, and then after that, there's a beep, and you have to answer it. Okay, it'll be a simple question with a 1-word answer. Okay, now it does not check your general knowledge, but it's checking your vocabulary. And it's quite easy, so you'll get 10 of them for your examination. If you are looking for some good PTE preparation materials or some good advice, well, I've got good news for you. Get in touch with us. Log on to our website, www.mygenesislearning.com. And there you've got a panel of expert PTE teachers, including myself. And the materials that we use are all authentic materials. We get it from the Pearson group, and all our tests, everything, all the simulations, everything is being carried out just like how we do it in the PTE exam. So if you're looking for some good material, get in touch with us. Brilliant. So now we finished that. Speaking is over. As soon as the speaking is over, you start with your writing. And in the writing, you've got 2 tasks. The first one is summarize the written text. And here you get 2 of them. So what happens is, basically you get a full passage, okay, an entire passage. It will be around 250 to 300 words. And then you will get 10 minutes time. Okay, it's on the clock. And during that time, you have to quickly read through that entire passage and summarize that entire thing into 1 single sentence. And that sentence should include some of the main, at least most of the main ideas and some additional points. Now, this might sound quite challenging, but it's possible. And you have to make sure you use a complex sentence if you want to get a good score in this task. Now, what's a complex sentence? Well, it's basically 2 simple sentences. You connect it together using a subordinating conjunction. Next, we move on to the writing. Second task and the next task of the writing, which is the write essay. Here you will get 2 of these tasks, and what happens is this is quite straightforward. You get a question that is some kind of topic, and then you have to write an essay, a 200 to 300 word essay in 20 minutes. It's quite simple to do it. There's a very simple structure that you can follow, and if you follow the structure, you will get all your points in. Very, very simple. And here at Genesis Learning, we teach you that structure that you need to get this done. It has worked for a lot of students, and I'm sure it will work for you as well. Next, we move on to the reading part in the examination. And here you've got 5 different tasks. The first one is the multiple choice choose single answer. And here you get 2 of them for your examination. In this task, you'll get a passage on your left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, you will see a question with a few options. Now, mostly it will be what is the opinion or the attitude or the main idea of the passage or idea of the author or something in that same sort. The question prompt is very important. So you will have to read that carefully and select only one option. That's it. Okay? And then we move on to the next reading task. The next reading task is multiple choice, choose multiple answers, and you will get 2 of them for your exam. Now, same like the previous task, you get a passage, and then on the right-hand side, you'll get a question with 4 or 5 different options. But the only interesting thing here is, it's not one answer, but there are more than one. It can be 2, it can be 3, I don't know. It can be how much ever answers. Okay? Now, you have to be very careful in this kind of question because there is negative marking. So if you get something correct, you'll get 1 point, but if you get something wrong, you'll get a negative. So make sure that you are very, very sure as to what the answer is, and then select it. Then we've got the third task in the reading, which is the reorder paragraph. For the exam, you will get around 2 of them for sure. Okay, I don't know more than that, but 2 for sure. Now what happens is you will see 2 boxes. On the left-hand side, you will see a box. 1 sentence will be there, then another sentence at the bottom, then next. So you'll see a couple of sentences. And these are all in the random order. And then what you have to do is you have to click one, select it and drag it to the next box and try to see what is the correct order of the entire passage. Let's move on to the 4th task in the reading, which is the fill in the blanks. Here you will get 4 of them for the examination. Now this is one of the fun tasks and I really do like it. And what happens here is you will get a task. Okay, you'll get a small passage around 70 to 80 words. There will be a few gaps in it. And at the bottom of the page, you will see a couple of options and you just have to click and drag and put it into the passage. That's it. It's very quick. You can do it under a minute, but the only thing is you need to understand your collocations and natural sounding phrases. Then we move on to the 5th task, which is a combination of the reading and writing, which is the fill in the blanks, and you get 5 of them for your exam. Now this is almost similar to the previous one. However, the one thing that is different here is that you will get a paragraph and then some blank spaces. And when you click it, you will get 4 options. You will not see it at the bottom, but you will see those options in a drop-down menu. And then you have to select that and put it into the passage. This task is basically checking your vocabulary through your different word choices. Now all of them might seem correct, but actually only one of them is correct. Okay, then we move on to the 3rd one, the listening. Okay, now this is really long, and if you've made it so far in this video, thank you so much, and hit that like button if you're getting value out of it. And now let's move on to the 3rd part, which is the listening. Now in the listening, you've got 8 different tasks. The first one is summarize spoken text, and you get 2 of that for your main exam. So what happens is that you will hear a lecture. It can last around 60 to 90 seconds. During that lecture, you take down notes, and then you will get around 10 minutes to do the entire thing. And then you have to type out a summary of that lecture in the box. It's kind of like the speaking retell lecture, but in this one, you have to type it. In that one, you have to speak it out. Then we move on to the multiple choice, choose multiple answers for the listening. Here you will get 2 of them for your exam. And what happens here is you will hear a lecture for 60 to 90 seconds. Then you have got a question prompt with a few answer options. And you have to select 1 or more in this one, answers. But be careful, this one has negative marking as well. Then we move on to the listening fill in the blanks, where you will get 2 of them for your examination. And in this task, what happens is you will see a passage in front of you on the screen, and it's got a few blanks. You will hear a lecture, and that same lecture's transcript is on your screen. And then as you hear it, you have to see the empty boxes and you have to quickly fill it in. Now you have to write it down, and then after that you can type it. If you're really good and really fast in typing, go ahead and type it at that moment. Then we move on to the listening, that is the next task, which is highlight the correct summary, and you get 2 of that for your examination. So you will hear an audio or maybe see a video, anything is possible, and then after the entire thing you will get like 4 options which says the summaries of those whatever you've heard, and you have to click which you think is the right summary. The next task is the multiple choice choose a single answer, wherein it's the same thing like the previous one, where you hear a lecture for 60 to 90 seconds, question, single prompt, with the options, you select only one answer. Next is the listening, select missing word type. You will get 2 of that in the examination. Now in this, what happens is basically you will hear some short word options, okay? You will hear a passage, and in the end, something will be beeped out. And whatever is beeped out, you have to guess it. You have to anticipate that word and type it into the computer. It will usually be a single word. Then we move on to the 7th task in the listening, which is highlight incorrect words. Now what happens here is basically you'll get 2 of them in the examination. You will see a transcript of the audio that is going to be played, and a couple of words are a bit different in the transcript. So you have to move your mouse, like this one here, you have to move it along the transcript, and if that word is different, you click it. You move, click, click, click. That's it. You don't have to type anything. However, you should be very careful. If you click something wrong, you will get a negative mark. The last task in the listening is the write from dictation. You will hear a single sentence, and then you have to type out that full sentence in the box. Brilliant. So that is about our entire task. Thank you for sticking around. Now let's do the last little part of how it is scored. Now, in the PTE exam, the scoring is from 0 to 90. Each module is 0 to 90. So each module has a certain amount of mark, and then you've got an overall mark. Now this overall mark, I'm not sure how it's calculated, but the computer is the one that does it. So it's something that Pearson has not told out, but this is how the scoring goes. Now I, just like all the other teachers, have written the PTE exam, and in my first attempt itself in my PTE, I got a straight 90 in all 4 modules and a full 90 overall. So whatever I teach here is completely based on experience, something that is proven. So have all the other teachers, all right? And I hope everything was clear and you got a good understanding of this entire PTE exam. If you found this quite informative, please go ahead and hit that share button. And if you've got some doubts or anything that any feedback, please hit it and type it out into the comment section, and we will reply to you as early as possible. So till we meet again, stay safe. This is your tutor, Noel, signing out. Ciao.